If you've ever thought I would love to hire a mentor, but nothing in my business is broken, keep listening. What if mentorship is not just for when you are stuck? What if investing before things actually break is actually what expands your capacity and your vision and your leadership? In this episode, I'm speaking to the intuitive, soul-led woman who is wondering if she needs a mentor, but also questioning if anything is actually wrong enough to justify it. This is your reframe. This is your reminder. This is also your invitation to stop treating support like a lifeline and start treating it like a launchpad. That shift has changed my business so much. Okay? I am not investing in mentors and masterminds because from the mentality of I need to fix something that is wrong and broken in my business. No, that was why I first invested, absolutely. But now I continue to choose to invest because I know that it keeps me growing, expanding, like I am asking my clients to commit to. It keeps me in emotional congruence. And it's not some lifeline to fix a broken business. So today we are going to explore the 3 myths that keep women waiting until burnout, until their business is completely broken and they're in a chronic state of stress before they actually invest in help. We're going to explore what it looks like to lead yourself through growth before the urgency hits, and how mentorship amplifies your power, okay? Not patching your cracks, we're not doing that. We're also going to explore why high-level women aren't waiting for the breakdown before they evolve. Okay, so you will walk away with a powerful reframe around the timing of mentorship, embodied insight into your own edge for expansion, and a real invitation to say yes to support because you're ready, not because you're drowning. And as you listen to this episode today, if you are having something lit up inside of you and you are the high-level leader who knows that your business does not need to be broken in order to get support, then I invite you to explore and apply for either my bespoke private mentoring, where you will fill out a beautifully detailed application so that I can custom tailor an experience for you, or explore and apply for my Transcendence High-Level Mastermind. Okay, so if you are brand new here, welcome. My name is Jessica Reed. I am an intuitive business mentor and alternative therapist. And honestly, if you have ever caught yourself thinking, I would love to work with a mentor, but I don't really need one right now. Or maybe I'll wait until I launch this next thing and I'll see how it goes. I'll figure it out on my own first. If I invest, I'll invest, if something stops working. But there's something inside of you that has still been whispering, but what if now is the time? Okay, this episode is your reframe. This is for the woman who isn't burnt out yet. You're not lost. You're not in a breakdown. You're building, you're stretching, you're quietly holding a bigger vision. But you're also wondering if you're allowed to say yes to support even when it feels like nothing's wrong. Because you've likely been taught to be strong and independent. You're the one who gets things done. Asking for help is hard, unless something's broken. So let me tell you, you don't have to wait until it's broken to get support. You just have to be ready for growth, ready for expansion. So there are 3 myths that are going to keep you waiting. Let's start by dismantling those, because I have seen too many intuitive leaders sitting in the waiting room, holding themselves back from greater levels of expansion, from meeting new edges, because that's what a good mentor does. They keep you meeting your edges. They keep you expanding internally, externally. You don't stay stagnant. So myth number 1 is that mentorship is only if something needs fixing. Okay, and this one is allowed in our industry too, but let's be really clear. Mentorship is not a repair shop, okay? It is an amplifier. Mentorship is a sacred mirror, a collaborator. A space where your leadership expands because someone can see what is already true and help you live it. Myth number 2, that you have to earn the support. So there is this subtle belief that mentorship comes after you hit a milestone. Once I make this amount of money, then I can hire a mentor. Once I launch this thing, once I have an office suite, then I can hire a mentor. Once I rebuild this. But what if that mentorship is the thing that gets you there sooner? And actually, the other one I hear a lot is once I heal this thing, once I deal with this thing that I'm going through. What if the mentorship helps you get there sooner? With less contraction. Let me tell you, nobody expects perfection when you come into a mentorship. I will meet you exactly where you are. I will hold space for the breakdown and for the brilliance. Okay? So what if this space helps you get there with less contraction? With no energetic leaks? And then the third myth that I hear all the time is that it's not the right time. So let me tell you something. This is a hard truth. We have all experienced it. You're always going to be busy. There will always be a project or a launch or a personal season. Leadership is not about timing. It is about alignment though. Aligned women move before the breakdown. They get their support, their scaffolding in place, ready for if that happens. They move because they're ready to hold more, because they value growth, because they value expansion. And for a lot of you listening in my world, I know that you expect your clients to value expansion. You want them to show up. Are you showing up for yourself in the same way you expect your clients to? There is a whole episode on energetic congruence. You can go and have a listen to that. So what does it look like to actually lead before the breakdown happens? Let me tell you a little truth from behind the scenes. The women inside of my private mentorship and my mastermind, they are not waiting to collapse. They are building their capacity on purpose. Okay? They are asking themselves, how do I hold this next level without burning out, to hustle to the health of my nervous system, to build a business that is actually in alignment with who I am and what I value, my season of life and what I want? How do I stretch myself and still stay regulated? They're asking, how do I scale without sacrificing the intimacy, without having to always be on all the time and still giving a beautiful high-level experience to my clients? They are investing from clarity, not from crisis. Okay, not to say they don't have holes in their business to plug. Absolutely, we all do. But that hole is not the energetic driver behind why they are continuing to invest in their growth. They invest because they want to move with their body, not drag their body along for the ride. And that to me is real leadership. That is self-leadership. Because here is the other thing. When you only reach out for support after something breaks, you're not just managing the strategy or the structure that needs adjusting. You're also managing a dysregulated nervous system, the emotional toll of doubt, of whatever experience you've just been through, and often a spiral of self-trust erosion. And it is harder to grow, it is harder to evolve when your body feels like it is in survival mode. So proactive mentorship, that's different. That's where we are intentional about our growth, where it gets to happen with calm clarity. That is where energetic recalibration becomes a part of your rhythm, not some last effort, quick last ditch fix. Okay, that's where your expansion feels safe and grounded and truly embodied. I have always invested before I was ready. The first time I joined a mastermind, I was not making consistent income. In fact, I think that year I made $5,000 and I did not feel qualified by any means. But I knew that if I wanted to hold more, if I wanted to rise faster, if I wanted to collapse the timelines, by being in a room with women who stretched me, by being in a space with mentors who could mirror things back to me, And that also, if I wanted that energetic reciprocation, I wanted clients who also valued the same things, then I needed to be that person. I don't invest because something is broken. I invest to continue my expansion, to have support when things break, to have scaffolding to support me if I am in a season where it is personal and hard. I invest to be ready for that. Okay, so this, my experiences in terms of investing to continue to grow rather than to plug a hole, it's changed everything. Not because it gave me a specific strategy that I couldn't just Google, but because I actually remembered who I was, because I came into this beautiful space of congruence, because that speaks to my clients. Because the more I grow, the more I can hold. Okay? I was held in a frequency where my vision wasn't too big. And that is what I offer now in both private containers and in my mastermind. Not a fix-it plan. Okay? But an actual, real, internal, external calibration. So if you are listening and something in your body is saying, I want to go deeper, I want to move differently, I want to rise before I actually unravel, then this is your moment. Inside my bespoke private mentorship, you will answer a few short questions and then I will personally tailor a few. It's a detailed application, but it is very intentional. I want you to know that's actually really important for you. Because then I will personally tailor a package that meets your needs, your goals, and your budget. Inside Transcendence, which is my high-level mastermind, we walk together through strategy, identity, and energy so you can rise into that next season. Because the woman who moves before it breaks, she is the one who is building something real, something sustainable, something legacy-rooted. And you are one of those women. So you don't need a breakdown to rise. You just need a decision. So you can apply now for private mentorship, or you can explore the mastermind. There is links below. But please remember, if you take anything out of this episode, you don't need to wait for it to break before you invest in your own growth. You simply need to check back in with what you truly value, what you expect your clients to value, and then bring yourself into congruence from that. Now, I will see you next week on Resourced. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to Resourced with Jessica Reed. If today's episode spoke to you, I'd love for you to share it with another soul-led entrepreneur who is also ready to rise. Make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected, because when you are deeply resourced, you become unstoppable. Until next time, my friend, stay resourced, stay radiant, and trust in the magic that is you.